Hello, welcome to another up close video. Today's one is for Tonic Showcase number 11, which is the Timeless Tea Jar die set, and it is one of their beautiful A4 die sets, and it comes in the popper wallet with the A4 double-sided magnetic sheet as well, and they fit perfectly in your A4 Tonic die storage ring binders, the orange ones, or they just go nicely on your shelf as well, just on a bookshelf. They're quite nice to just stand up because they're really nice durable folders, so they're going to last really nicely and keep all of your dies nice and safe and secure. And in this month's set we have the gorgeous die set, which is on the magnetic sheet. You get your lovely front cover of the die set, which tells you it's the Timeless Tea Jar die set, how many dies it's got in, and it gives you inspiration, or just shows you what the actual dies look like when they're made up as well, which is always lovely to have. And then on the back you've also got a visual representation of what is in the die set as well, and that is actually laid out in the same way that it is stuck on the die set. So if you ever can't reconfigure it back into an A4 sheet, you can just follow that to, you know, get it back in the right places, which is really nice, because sometimes you're struggling trying to reposition them all back into, it's like a jigsaw puzzle, isn't it, trying to get them all back in the right place. But yeah, we've actually got the lovely little leaflet in this one, and you also have the instructions of how to put it together. It is a really simple build. The hardest thing is probably this portion here with like the little lip to help the lid stay on, but it's not really too difficult. I have also just filmed, which I'll probably put up today, a construction video. It's probably like half an hour long, showing you exactly how many pieces of which ones you need to cut, where to put the tape, and how to put it together as well. So you do get the instructions in with your die set, but if you prefer to have a video form of instructions, I decided to film it as a separate video, and I'm very glad I did, because it was half an hour long, and that would have made this video very long if I'd left it on the end of this one. So there will be a construction video up today as well, so you can see exactly how easy it is to put together. The only things that you want to bear in mind, I think it does say it, I never really read the instructions, I think it does say it, but there's two different shapes of the jars. There's this one with a regular octagon on, and then there's this one with like an elongated bottom portion of the octagon. Both of the lids are exactly the same, so the top of the box exactly the same size, you use exactly the same pieces. And I say this in my construction video, it's the largest octagon and the smallest octagon together to make the little ring that goes around the top. But with this one, the bottom is the largest octagon, and with the one that tapers at the bottom piece is the smallest octagon, but I'm pretty sure I read it somewhere on here. So yeah, that's just one thing to know, that this one tapers down. It's slightly taller box. I will show you them now actually. It's a slightly taller box, but you can see how the bottom of the box is a different size. So depending what kind of look you're going for, I actually think this one does look quite like a canopic jar. So if you're into Egyptians, I think you could turn this into a canopic jar. I mean, you might have to, I suppose that looks like a generic one, but the one I'm looking at that I've got, it's got a little Anubis head on the top, or a Horus head as well. So if you're really good at like sculpting, you could use like paper clay to sculpt an actual headpiece to go on top of this lid, and that would look really cool. Yeah, but it would make a really cool canopic jar if you like that kind of thing. But it is supposed to be a tea jar. But I do think this will be useful for lots of different things as well. I was saying in my construction video, if you tilted it onto this little square there, it makes a nice little sort of like grab pot. You could have that as a treat pot on your desk, and you can just reach inside and get a chocolate out or something. Or you could use it to store like paper clips or rubbers, or little mini ink pads that you might have on your desk. You know, you could put your little mini ink pads inside there. You could have like the little roller date stamps that I like to use in my art journaling. You could keep them in a little pot like that. So there's also lots of uses for using it as like a storage item as well, rather than a gift box. But however you're going to use it, I think the recipient would really love this. And I was also saying about buying a big box of chocolates like Celebrations or Heroes, you know, the big tins that you like £5, and like dividing it up and making a few of these and filling them full of chocolates as well. That would be a really nice use for them. So you get that gorgeous inspiration sheet, and you do get the instructions, and you get it in the lovely folder. as well. I always forget to mention that you do actually get it in the folder, which is probably why the price is slightly higher than you... Well, I don't know actually. It probably is about the same kind of price for a large A4 die set, but you're getting the wallet and the magnetic sheet and stuff included, so I think maybe it is about the same price, I'm not sure now. But anyway, you do get that included, and I always forget to tell you. And also the links to the gorgeous showcase and any of the other bits and pieces that I can find on the website, I will link to as well. They'll be below the video, and also little picture links on my blog post as well. And they will be affiliate links too, so to both of the Tonic websites as well. So let's have a look at the actual die set. There is a lot to see on this month's die set, and as usual, obviously I can't just make the boxes to show you, I have to make some cards as well. So I've also got 3 cards to show you too, which are in a sped up video that will probably be up tomorrow. But there are loads of little elements in here that are fantastic for your card making, and one idea that I didn't actually get round to doing, but one of you might get round to doing it, but I thought, this, doesn't it look like an avocado? You could actually turn that into like a funky geometric avocado for a card, and then if you had a small octagon die, you could continue the geometric theme down and have like an octagon pip in the middle, or you could use a circular die, or you could even cut out this circular element from the middle of this design and have it as like a fancy little pip inside the avocado. But I just had to share that because I didn't get to try that out. But yeah, tons of different dies in here that are going to be so useful for all sorts of different makes. So the main pieces for making the box, which is also depicted on the instructions and I tell you in my construction video, are these portions here. So this is to create the, it goes up this way, this is to create the tapered box that has the smaller bottom that kind of looks like a canopic jar. So that is the piece for that, and you would need 2 of them to make that box. Or if you want to just do the octagonal one, this is the piece to do that box, and again you would need 2 of them to create the box. So those are the weird looking pieces that actually make your boxes. Then going on to the lid, this is the piece that makes the actual lid that goes on the box, and to make a lid you need 2 of those. So a really wacky looking piece, but 2 of them makes the lid of the box. Then to allow the lid to attach to the top of the box, you need to cut these 2 dies that are actually next to each other on the die set. So this is the largest octagon. You can see it is bigger than this octagon here. So it's this one that comes around this circular design. You need that largest one. That gives you the base for the octagon box, and this gives you the base for the narrow bottomed box, but both of them together gives you the lip that goes around the top of the box on both of the boxes. So you would need this for both of the boxes, and this gives you the lip that goes around the top that then these pieces will stick to. So you would need 1 ring piece for each box, and then I was using 2 bottom pieces. So if you're doing the narrow bottomed one, you need 2 of these, and if you're doing the regular octagon one, you would need 2 of these for the bases, because I like to sandwich the tabs between the 2 bases. And then for the top lip of the box, you actually need 4 of these for each box, because the box has got 8 sides and this is a little 2-piece panel, so you need 4 of them for the box as well. So those are all of the main pieces to actually construct the box, and then everything that's left here are all of the gorgeous decorative elements, you know, to add all of your fancy patterned papers or your fancy cardstock from Craft Perfect, or even to add some of your Nuvo elements on as well. And actually I meant to go and find a die set, so I'll just show you this first and then I will find the die set. This pattern here, those of you who have been around with Tonic for quite a while might recognise this pattern, and I absolutely adore this pattern. I've used it in quite a few of my sped up videos from like years back. I really love this pattern, and I'm so glad they brought it back, and it's actually in 2 of the different sizes. I can't remember if it's supposed to be a leaf or a feather, but it kind of gives me leaf sort of feeling. But there is one for each of the 2 different sizes of boxes, and it is just stunning. I just love this pattern so much, and I'll be back in 1 second because I wanted to find the original die set to show. I stand corrected, it's not actually exactly the same, but it's very similar, and that's why it reminded me of it. But this was the pattern I was thinking of. But look, it's very similar, but I thought it was exactly the same, but it's not. It is actually different, but I really like it. I love this design. I mean, the new one, they're all going the same direction, whereas this one, there's like going up and down, up and down. I really, really like that. So, that's interesting, isn't it? It's not actually called that. I think I've put these the wrong way around. I think it's called Zigzag and Floral. But yeah, those ones that came out donkey's years ago, it really reminded me of that. I thought it was exactly the same pattern, but that's interesting that it's not. But they would go together nicely if you do have that in your stash. So, you know, that would be a good one to mix and match with as well. So, let's have a look at all of the decorative panels then. So for the octagon ones, we've actually got 3 different designs. So let me just, it's probably going to be easier if I just zoom in and show you, rather than me taking all of the dies off of here and then I won't be able to get them back on. Although I can look at the packaging though. So this is one of the designs. I've used this on my grey and turquoise little box that I'll show you later. It has gorgeous like daisy sort of designs in there, like little half daisies. There's like a little half flower at the top. There's more like foliage and leafy designs in here, and the outer edge around this one at the moment is straight edged octagon with dotting detail and cutting out detail as well, and it's really, really pretty. I really like this one, and you can also either cut the decorations straight in with this one, or you can cut this one to go behind and then cut the detail with the smallest octagon die to cut it out as well, which works really nicely too. Then the next design is that gorgeous leafy one, which maybe this one looks more feathery and the other one's more leafy, but I really like that. And then this one has, again, straight edged octagons, but these have got a debossed pattern all the way around. So it's kind of like little vines with a little tiny flower and little like half tulipy kind of flowers within the vines as well. So really pretty that is. And especially if you like to accent things with your mousses, or if you like to use a lot of mirror card, this particularly looks wonderful in mirror card because the shiny surface, it really allows the pattern to show the way the light hits it as well, so that looks gorgeous in mirror card. And then the final pattern that you can interchange in either of those two sides, or just use the smaller octagon to cut it out, is this kind of circular sort of element, which I've used on my purple box. And it's got like that circular piece in the centre. It kind of looks a little bit more oriental to me. But these little dashed fall away pieces in that circle, you could like intertwine baker's twine around there, like weave it in and out. I think that might look really nice as a different feature. Or you can trim out these sections and raise them up as well to give it a different kind of look too. So those are the decorative panels for the regular octagon, and then these are the 2 decorative panels for the longer sort of bottomed one. Again, that gorgeous feathery kind of design, but in this one you actually have 2 different ways of cutting out the design. On these ones, you either cut them into the 3 or the 2 outside edges, or cut them out with the 1 straight edged octagon. But with this one, you get the straight edged shape. If I can get it off the sheet, you get the straight edge shape, which looks like an avocado, or you also have the wiggly edged one, and I was actually using the straight edged one to cut the pattern out, and the wiggly edged one, chopped it down the middle, moved the 2 halves apart and had it poking out the side of the straight edged one, and I thought that looked really nice as well. So you've got options with that. And then for the outside edges, you have the same design as the regular octagon. So you've got this with the dotted detail and then the little rectangles that cut out. It's exactly the same for both of those. And then for this one, the debossed detail in this one is kind of like little swags. They're like, or like double scallops almost, with, I think these are little tiny flowers in the little cross sections as well. So really, really pretty. Again, would look lovely in mirror card. Those are the main decorative panels. Then we have tons of other little elements to decorate the lid and like the little triangle portions of the boxes. So for the triangle portions, you have so many different options, and I used a lot of these options on some of my cards that I was making as well for a geometric kind of look. So you have this one that's almost like a little maze, which is really lovely. This one is like part of that this pattern, this oriental kind of pattern. It's that sort of portion of it, so that would go really nicely with that one. You've got another sort of geometric looking one, which again looks really cool, and it has a debossed triangle in the centre, which is actually the same size as these triangles here, that you can also do a panel with, so you can actually place one of those inside that as well. You have this gorgeous one here, which has got I guess that's kind of a bit of a daisy sort of pattern, so it would go nicely with the daisy one as well. You've got this design here, so you can see there are lots of different ones to choose from. That one almost looks like two little tulips in there. Then this one I just showed you, and then over here there's even more triangular designs. You've got this one which is almost like zoomed in on a flowery kind of shape, this one which is almost like a leafy kind of shape, and this one has a wiggly edge to it. This one's got a straight edge to it. Here you have a slightly larger triangle and then an even larger triangle for doing different kind of cutting out the different elements as well. And then over here you also have this one, which is very similar to the kind of leafy sort of design that's in here, and then you also have a stripy little one as well. So there really are so many options with the triangles, and you can just experiment with which triangle fits what part of the box as well, or to whatever degree you want it to fit onto there, because you can have them so that you just put the tiny little triangle in the triangle. You can have them so there's a lot of space around the edge. You could use the slightly larger, you can't see me pointing to it, the slightly larger triangle here to cut them out, and then it would fill up this space a little bit more as well. So there really are lots of options for which ones to pick for your box. Then you also have two options for the long skinny triangle portions of this toolbox. I didn't actually end up using them, but for this sort of portion of the box, you've got this one which has kind of got like almost like a wind turbine propeller sort of design in it. It's got like a 3 propeller kind of design in that tall skinny one that's got a straight edge, and then this one has a wiggly edge, and then this one kind of almost matches this sort of design as well. So you've kind of got one to go with each of those two decorative panels, which is lovely. Then you have a gift tag. So this is the little gift tag, which is almost in the same shape as one of the panels that you need to decorate the lid of the box. So you can switch out any of the decorative panels for the lid into this little gift tag and vice versa as well, which is really nice. And then for those other decorative panels of the lid, you have that debossy one that I've done. You can see how well a deboss works in mirror card. And I've done that in the silver mirror card. So you've got that one that says love. You've got this gorgeous design which kind of matches this oriental one as well. It's not focused. I think that's better. So this one kind of matches the oriental design. This one says for you, so you could also have that as one of the elements that goes on the lid. And then this one is a singular motif from that gorgeous feathery leafy kind of design that I love, and this one has the outside edge around it too, but you can use the same edge for all of them. And I actually used this individually on a card multiple times down it to give this as a little aperture on the card as well, which I also really love the look of. So I think that is finally everything from the die set. So there really are tons of dies in this A4 die set for creating multiple different variations of the boxes. Whether it is the regular octagon one or the one with the elongated bottom part, there are so many different iterations that you could do with these. You could probably make like at least 10 or 20 of them with all different combinations of any of these dies as well. And also you don't have to just use the same one all the way around a box. You can mix and match them as well, which is always nice too. And any of these would be really nice paper pieced in. This sort of leafy feathery design is probably the easiest one to paper piece because I think each design is the same, so you'd have multiple pieces that would fit in multiple areas. These ones would be slightly fiddlier, although like the petals of the flowers would probably be the simplest kind of ones to do. But yeah, loads of different ways of using these, and because you've got those debossy ones, you can instantly do that into mirror card to give that beautiful effect, or you can bring in any of your Nuvo products as well, and then also obviously card making too. So I'll put my dies away and then I'll be back to show you my 3 boxes and 3 cards that I've done as well. So here are the 3 boxes that I did. This was the one I did for my construction video, which will be up today as well. So this is the regular octagon shaped one, and I did it in matching colours to match the taller one that I had already done. So I've got like a matching set of a shorter and a taller box, which I thought was quite nice. For this one I used the Pewter grey cardstock, the texture cardstock from CRaFTi. I think it's called Ocean Blue, this teal kind of colour. And then I also used Oyster grey, which is this lighter kind of almost beigey kind of colour, and then also silver mirror card as well, and I just used a mixture of that all over the box to kind of tie it all together. And then for these elements up here, for the triangular portions, I decided to just put in a tiny triangle, which was from that little die that cuts out 3 tiny triangles, and then I surrounded it by a kind of messy little triangle of Nuvo glitter drops, and this is the Aquatic Mist one, or Aquatic Mist, which is like a lovely turquoise colour with almost like a green reflective glitter in there, and I thought that goes really nicely with that ocean blue kind of a colour. So really simple, these two, just keeping them the same kind of colour scheme so they match. Then the other one that I did was a gorgeous purple one using that more oriental style. However, I think like that, it's almost giving me horoscope kind of looks. It almost looks like the horoscope-y sort of thing. So yeah, you can make it look for whatever kind of technique or idea or person you're making the box for. And for this one, I've just kept to 3 different cardstocks. It was like a deep purple, a light purpley mauvey colour, and then also the Lilac Waves luxury embossed card underneath the decorative panels as well. And then I decided to also use gemstones to decorate, just to show that you don't have to die cut every single panel. You can actually like accent with gemstones or with Nuvo drops as well. So these could have been Nuvo drops on these areas too, but I thought the gemstones would go really nicely, and these are the Amethyst squares. I don't know if you can get the Nuvo Pure Sheen gemstones anymore. I think they might have discontinued them, which is really annoying because I really love using them. But you might already have a pot of them, or there's probably other retailers out there who still have some stock left, so you might still be able to get hold of them. But they're really pretty, and I think they just add like an element of bling to the box as well. And I wanted to show like different triangular decorations as well, so I've used this little triangle at the top and then put one little tiny square gem in the centre, and then on the bottom section I've just stuck 3 gems on. So just sticking the 3 gemstones on there also gives a really nice look for decorating those triangular pieces, or just the 1 gem on the top as well. So just a different kind of option. And yeah, I really love these little boxes. They're really nice. They're really sturdy actually, like pressing on that, it's really well constructed, and should hold a decent weighted gift in there as well. Even like a bath bomb, or those like handmade bars of soap or something, or I mean, if you made more of a masculine looking one, you could even give a tie in there as well, or some pairs of socks, or again, chocolates is always a good one for putting in these kind of gift boxes, especially if you're like making the packaging look better. You know, it can be like a £2 packet of chocolates, but if you put it in a box like this, it looks amazing. You know, all sorts of different things you could put in here, even craft goodies for a crafter. You could fill it full of different bits and pieces as well, especially if you have duplicates from things. If you get the craft kits and maybe you have little miniatures that you've never used because you've already got the full size of them, but you know somebody who hasn't really gotten into that side of crafting yet, or who you think will really enjoy it, you could fill it full of all your little miniatures, and they could have, you know, loads of fun just playing with all of those kind of bits and pieces as well. So really lovely, these little boxes, but obviously I had to make some cards with them as well. So my sped up video that will probably be up tomorrow is to make these 3 cards. So I've gone with 1 card for each of the 2 different shapes of like decorative panel, and then 1 going really like geometric and using all of the triangles that are in there. And I really love this one. I don't know if I'm that keen on the happy birthday to you sentiment, but I really love the background of this, and I think this would transfer really nicely into a journal page, using all these little triangles and stuff on a journal page. I think that would look really nice. So for this one, this is using that tapered kind of shaped one. and using that gorgeous feathery leafy kind of design in there as well, which I really love. The background is using the Nuvo chalk mousse, the Iced Plum, which was an exclusive colour to the most recent Tonic craft kit. And also I used the Simple Hearts stencil that launched with the other colours of the Nuvo chalk mousse as well. The Best Wishes is a sentiment that launched a little while ago too, but I'm pretty sure they're still available on the website as well. I've also used some of the purple gems to tie in with the purple card as well, so you could give these as a matching set, which would be really nice. And then I also used a few Nuvo drops on this one as well, which was the Purple Rain glitter drops. So really, really simple, using the same colours of card that I used on the box so they can match together. Then I've also done this one, which again is using the same colours of card that I've used on the box so that they will match again. This is like the little aperture of that single element, and I really like that it debosses with those little elements in the corner of the leafy feathery design as well. I think it looks really nice like that. And having that octagonal design, I've done it so the point is going up on the back one, but it's going across on the decorative panel because that's the way that the pattern goes in there. And I think that looks really nice, layered up as well. Exactly the same way that I layered the panels for the boxes, where I had added an extra mat behind here, and it gives that completely different look, twisting them and offsetting them, but you could do that with your box as well. There's nothing to say you have to line them up perfectly. You could have this one twisted on your box panel as well. There's nothing to say they've got to be perfectly lined up in the same octagonal orientation. You can twist them as well, so I think that would look really nice on the box if you twisted them around. This is just a really old Just to Say die. I have a feeling they brought it back recently though. It might have just been in the American market, but a lovely little scripty Just to Say, and then I sprinkled some of those Aquatic Mist drops across the card as well. And then the final one that I did is this gorgeous geometric one, and I mixed all of the colours together. So every colour that I'd used on the box and on the two cards, I mixed all together, and I cut a ton of these triangular designs out. Some of them I used the actual triangular dies to cut them out. So like here, cutting the little skinny rectangles, and I had this one inside there as well. So with one run through the die cutting machine, I got this element and the little ones that fall away, which is you know, a time saver. And then for the other ones, instead of having to reuse the triangular die or have it a different size triangle than what I wanted, for these decorative designs I actually just used my long bladed pair of scissors to snip them into triangles, and that worked just as well for this kind of a look. So it can save you a little bit of time doing that too. And then I just accented with the same Nuvo drop colours, and I used that HBTU sentiment, which came out the same time as the Best Wishes one as well. So yeah, I really like how that one turned out. Very geometric and modern kind of looking, but I definitely think that would transfer nicely onto an art journal layout. I think that would give a really cool look for art journaling as well. So I hope you enjoyed this up close video showing you Tonic Showcase number 11, which is the Timeless Tea Jar. And don't forget to check out my construction video of this one, putting it together, if you want to see exactly how the box goes together. Maybe you want to see how it goes together before you decide to buy it, whether you think you'll be able to put it together or not, because it does come with instructions, but I know a lot of you find a video instruction much easier to follow. So hopefully some of you will find that useful. And also have my sped up video of those 3 cards as well, so there'll be 3 videos this month, but I will put the construction video up today as well, so that if you want to see how it goes together you can watch that as well. It's quite a long one though, it's 30 minutes. I'm not sure how long this one's been now, but it's probably about the same amount of time. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you again in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!